Hey, welcome to Fat is Losing. So 5 weeks ago, I started this journey with 6 lifestyle changes. And this is week 6, and I'm gonna be weighing in. By the end of this video, I'm gonna show you if I lost, if I gained, or if I'm still the same. Now, some things have changed and some things are still the same. I've worked on a lot of new habits, and some I did perfectly, some I didn't. But I stayed focused, and that's the most important thing, is staying mindful. Now, one thing I want to talk about is measurements. Now, you can use a measurement tape to measure yourself. I don't know that I did that. I can't find my measurements, but I will do it this time. Now, I wouldn't measure weekly. I would probably measure like every 6 weeks, or maybe every month, or every 2 months, because that's going to be like the slowest gauge on whether or not you're losing or not. And you don't want to be frustrated by keep measuring yourself. So you want the tape to move, do it every 6 weeks or 3 months. So I normally measure my waist, my hips, my thighs, and my arms, and then also my chest. I always measure those things, get a gauge of where I am. Now, one thing I noticed is is my clothes fitting? When I started paying attention to my goals and what I wanted to do to achieve a healthier lifestyle, my clothes have gotten so tight because I was supposed to start in January and I gained like 15 pounds in such a short period of time. And my clothes were just fitting so tight, and it was so embarrassing. Like, my shirts were not even hanging right, and they looked like I had my little sister's shirt on. I am the little sister, but it looked like I had, somebody else's clothes on. And so that was embarrassing. I didn't want to buy up. I did buy some dresses so that I can just kind of let it flow over me. But I didn't want to buy another bigger size because we're not going to keep going up, right? What I have noticed is that this shirt I have on today, I wasn't able to put it on. So it's fitting better. The pants that I'm wearing, you can't tell, but the pants that I'm wearing, they're fitting better. They still look a mess. I'm sure I look a mess, but they fit looser, like they have a better fit to them. So I'm excited about that. And what else? I was able to put on some shorts yesterday that I hadn't been able to put on. I was like, oh my God, because before I couldn't get them up my thighs. And so yesterday I got them up my thighs, and I was like, oh my God, this is something, right? So I was pretty excited about that. My shorts are looser. I'm not where I was. Like, I still have pants that I was wearing in January that I can't get in, right? So I went and bought in, I think March or May, April, I went and bought some new clothes. So these are clothes I bought to size up. And then I got bigger. I'm like, I'm not going no higher. Not going no higher. So I want to talk to you about my sleeping. It is still difficult for me to sleep, and it's only because of my surgery. So I'm not getting the rest that I need. I'm still getting like 3 to 4 hours a day, and then I might nap in the evening, but I'm really not sleeping well, and that's a problem. And I think sleeping is so important to weight loss. You've got to get that sleep in. And if you're not going to bed, and then, let's talk about going to bed. So prepping for bed is important, and I don't prep. I think the best thing to do is to really set a time. I'm going to bed is non-negotiable. I said this before, and it's something that has to be continuously in your mind to do until you do it, and then you become perfect at it. Because right now I'm talking about it. Am I doing it? Sometimes, but I'm still hurting. So I'm still in a lot of pain. So when I do fall asleep, I experience excruciating pain that keeps me up. But anyway, this is going to end. I'm going to get over this hump. I'm starting to figure out sleep is more important than working out. It just is. You can eat perfectly. You could walk. I've done all those things, and I still gain weight. But if you sleep, I'm telling you, you'll lose that weight. Okay, so then there's my water intake, right? And you're like, I carry my water. I have my water with me everywhere I go. And it stays full all day long. It stays full. But With my water intake, I'm being more mindful. I'm taking more in. I've been drinking my hot water a little bit more often. I was struggling with that a couple of weeks ago. I have picked that up. I was getting it like 3 to 4 cups a week. Now I'm about 5 cups a week. So I'm making progress, right? So get that warm water in the morning to flush out your system, get yourself moving a little bit, and you are going to feel good. And no telling what it's doing to you as it's cleaning out all the imperfections, right? As far as my food, the timing is everything. I'm still not really focusing on like intermittent fasting because I want to really get my sleep in, right? So I think eating is important and timing is important. So you want to make sure that you're not eating late. That's the most important thing. Cut it off 3 hours before your bedtime. I haven't been successful with that because there's some nights I'll eat at 8 and I'll go to bed at 9, or I eat at 9 and go to bed at 10. I think I've been pretty good with my food. Then my temptation, like I had that temptation that one night and that almost threw me over. Thank God it was too late to go to the store. I'm so grateful for that. But I haven't been really tempted. I think if you get a lot of protein in, I have my emergency pack, tuna fish and green beans. So if I get to a point where I really need something, it's the protein. I go get my tuna fish pack and I have my green beans, and that's kind of like a meal in itself. Now, as far as the cravings, yeah, I did good, but I still have those cravings. And so what do I do about them? Eat more protein. I think protein is the key. Now, movement. I know I said I was going to walk this week, and I haven't walked at all, but I did walk this morning. I walked up the street and back down. My legs were so sore. I felt like, oh my God. But I'm not going to rush it, because if you rush it, you can do some damage. You can get, exhausted. You can exert yourself. You can give up because, you get tired. So this is a lifetime. I'm not going to rush anything. I'm here for the rest of my life, and I'm going to do everything I can to get healthy, and I'm going to take my time about it. We don't have to rush this, We do not have to rush. My sleep routine, I'm still fighting that sleep routine. How much time am I getting? I think what has to happen is that I have to be committed to my non-negotiable. My non-negotiable is 8 o'clock. I stop everything and prepare for bed. Be in the bed at 9. If I keep telling myself it's going to happen, because eventually it's going to stick. Eventually I'm going to get in the bed. And the problem is that I'm not sleeping well right now, but when I do sleep well, do I have that habit in place? Or will I be trying to get in the bed at 11 o'clock and trying to get some sleep? And then here comes 5 o'clock when it's time to wake up and I'm sluggish and my body's not healing itself. It's not doing the things that it does when it's sleeping, and I'm defeating the weight loss thing, right? So I'm going to practice. Practice makes perfect. So my progress is slow, right? It's slow, it's steady. I'm not making much, I am making progress, but it's not a whole bunch. It's not like, let's run this marathon, let's go do it now. No, you got to train for it. And so I'm taking this as training. I'm in training for the rest of my life. And so when you run marathons, I used to run marathons. And when I ran marathons, I would train, I can't remember, probably like 3 months before I did the race. And so I did a mile and then a quarter mile, 3 miles and then a mile. 4 miles one week and then the next week 2 miles. So I gradually worked my way up. And then the day that I was going to run 26 miles, it was at the race. And then I start all over again. It was like rinse and repeat, which is what I'm doing here. So the progress is good. I think I'm on track. It's not perfect, but it's good. My struggles, as you know, I'm struggling still with the food. I'm struggling because I have cravings. I'm struggling with my water intake. I'm struggling with my sleep. I'm struggling. Meal prep is good because I got all that taken care of. But I'm still having those areas of struggling. And speaking of meal prep, join me this Saturday. I'm going live and I'm going to be prepping some food. My favorite dish that my mom makes. I'm going to be prepping that. So tell me this. Which habits has become easier for you? Put it in the chat. I would love to hear from you. I want to know about your habits that you've created and what's becoming easier and what are you still struggling with. So what I would say my biggest victory is, hey, before we get to that, let's go see how I did this week. Come on, then. Okay. Isn't that amazing? 10 pounds. 10 pounds in 6 weeks. Now, I was hoping for a pound a week, which would have been 6 pounds. I got 4 extra pounds off. Now, I'm still behind from where I was supposed to start in January by 5 pounds, and that's okay. That is okay because it takes a lot to get it off. It's easy to get it on, but it's a lot harder to get it off. And the sooner you work at getting off what you gain, the quicker you can get it off. Now that weight that's been sitting for years, it's going to be a little bit more stubborn. So I'm thinking that next 6 weeks, I'll have that 5 pounds off. I'm so excited. I was like, my clothes have been fitting looser, you know, my mood is better. My knees don't hurt when I walk anymore. I don't feel the cracking. And I used to have all of this like muscle cramps and my feet would cramp up at night. All kinds of conditions. My body was it was in a horrible way. I mean, I was having aches and pain, shortness of breath, just sharp pains through my chest. My arms was hurting, my knees were hurting, my legs, my ankles, muscle spasms, all of that. Dehydrated, and I still have problems with my eyes. So, because I'm not hydrated, but my eyes would stay dry all day. It would hurt so bad. So now I have relief from that. But at night, I wake up and with dry eye. So I know I need to get some more water in. But significant difference from when I started. I feel so much more better right now. And it's because I let go of 10 pounds, y'all. Come on, y'all. Celebrate with me. Y'all gotta celebrate with me. That is huge. I mean, huge. It's huge. So let me show you what 10 pounds look like. This is 10 pounds, y'all. 10 pounds. Don't forget, I'm doing a live this Saturday. Join me. Talk to you then.